Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know, I love talking about my contributors, and one of my new contributors, she does a phenomenal job. Her reputation preceded her even before we met. Her name is Beth Guide. She is with SEO411.com, a great company helping people in their search engine optimization efforts, and really delighted to have her on as she brings some of the personalities and some of the people that she meets in her business. Before she introduces her guest, though, Beth, tell us a little bit more about SEO411, and as always, welcome.
Oh, good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Good.
We've been doing this for, many years, 15 years we're out to now, and we've been working with businesses. We're trying to expand now and work towards a total internet marketing perspective and not just stay within this SEO realm. I think Google's looking for that more, so anybody that's not considering that, they need to start changing how they do things. Yeah,
they need to start doing it differently. The one thing that people I don't think totally understand is that there's few businesses that are easier to get into than SEO in terms of just saying, hey, guess what? I'm an SEO expert. Anyone can say that. He has virtually no overhead. Some guy can do it from his basement, his garage, his closet, or wherever. And, with unemployment being like it is, there's a lot of people who want to become those kind of experts. And most of them use a lot of language that's very, often even 20th century when it's talking about SEO, and there's probably no field in which there's more dynamic change than in search engine optimization, because Google drives the entire beast, and they are constantly trying to change the game to make sure SEO is honest.
I get out of bed every day and it's a different world.
Yeah.
So you have to be on it every day.
What I encourage people to do is visit with Beth and the folks over there at SEO 411 and ask them the questions they need to be asking a potential SEO expert, because you'll be shocked that they're more than likely giving you 20th century answers to SEO problems, which means you need to be talking to Beth Guide. Introduce your guests, Beth.
This is Doug Winnie. He's with Action Coach, and he's a business coach. You've been in business 28 years. And I think he brings a lot to the show and a lot to your listeners. He deals a lot with small and mid-sized businesses.
Doug, welcome to the program. Kind of give us your elevator speech before we get started. By the way, met Doug a couple of times, and he's also friends with my wife and in her networking circles. And so good to see you again.
Thanks to be here, Kevin, and thank you for inviting me, Beth. So the reality is that a business coach, just like an SEO expert, can come out of the woodwork. You don't have to have a degree, don't have to have a certification. But the reality is that I've had several multi-million-dollar businesses I created myself. And so it's one thing you'd always want to make sure you have in a mentor or as a coach is somebody who's done it before.
Right.
And so this is my third multi-million-dollar business. And Action Coach is a franchise, so I bought it when I said, well, sure would be nice to have a whole bunch of tools. And Action Coach has this massive toolkit, literally over 1,000 things that we can pull from and say, hey, one of the things you need a lot more of is marketing. Mm-hmm. So here is a website tool that says these are the things you should have. Mm-hmm. First thing on the checklist is an SEO expert. So SEO 411 would be the absolute expert we would go to for that, because if you don't, you can put up a fantastic website, but if you don't have somebody searching for it and finding you just wasted a whole lot of money.
That is for sure. And that's one of those things. That's kind of the beauty of being a lowlife is in SEO. If you're going to be a lowlife, hey, you got to give it a certain period of time to make it work. It's not going to happen overnight. So you're collecting checks for 6 months, and guess what? You're getting zero progress, and guess what? You'll have the same amount of progress in another 6 months. And so it's really burden on someone like you to find quality people. And obviously, you can just as easily recommend Beth as I can.
Absolutely, and it's a requirement. You're going to invest a lot of money in generating leads.
Yeah,
and you should. And then you should make sure you're getting the qualified leads, and that's what SEO is going to do for you, is make sure that happens. And the other thing a website has to do is help you convert. So you want to make sure that you have a great website provider, a great website SEO expert, and that's why SEO 411 has been around for a long time. We were talking about my last business, which was a multi-million-dollar IT business, and it started. I sold it about the time that Beth got into the business, which was quite a long time ago. I guess both before we were born, right?
Yes.
Yes. At least for admission purposes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Beth, you have a question for our guests?
I'd like to ask, if you had one thing that you could tell a small business that they could do to help themselves grow, what would that be?
Well, I just talked about this the other day, and one of the things that we talked about with some clients is really they don't know where they're going. And so, if you're going to go build a house, you actually have the plan done, you know what it looks like, you even have colors picked out. But business owners tend not to know where they're getting to before they start. And so we need to make sure they understand their destination. We call it destination mastery. It's one of the things that we teach, every couple of weeks. I do it for free in our office. Understand where you're getting to. What does the end game look like? You're going to, if you're going to have a house, you're going to have a house built. You're definitely going to be sure you know what it looks like when it's finished, how many doors, how many windows, how many rooms, how many square feet. People tend to not know what a business looks like when it's finished.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I don't care how big the task is. You use a house, which is about as big as a personal task is going to be. But even we're going to go to Disney World. Well, you map out your trip to Disney World. We're going to go weekend camping. You map out that trip for weekend camping. Apparently, I have vacations on the brain. But anyway, you get the idea. Yep. The idea here is that if we do it for the mundane, surely we're going to do it for our business, right?
Well, surely
we should.
It's just that we don't.
Yeah.
And so as a coach, I make sure all of our clients do. Definitely have to have a plan. And it's not the business plan that banks look for. It's the week-by-week plan that every business needs to follow, even down to an hour. If you got employees, what are they supposed to be doing every hour of every day? And you just got to have that plan, just like you do for the Disney trip, just like you do for building a house, you need to do for your business.
Okay, very good. Beth?
Okay. Very good. It's good information, and I fully believe that because I think we all start and the road changes, and then you don't know how you got there, and then sometimes good things happen and you've outgrown your own staff, and then you don't know how to fix it. So there's some good problems within that too, but it's always good to have somebody on board that can help you steer the ship in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think it's Les Brown that said, you really cannot see the picture frame if you're in the picture.
Yeah.
And you don't know what we don't know, and somebody has to help you understand what it is you don't know. When you do learn what you didn't know, all of a sudden you get through your ceiling.
Yeah, that third-party objectivity is really very important, and you got people working in an organization. You always got a certain number of yes men and yes women, and whatever the boss thinks is best is best, and there's just a lot of dynamics that make it difficult for there to be any kind of clarity and objectivity. So bringing someone in who says, looking in, and I don't make, I really won't be with you long as your coach unless your business is growing. That's a powerful impetus for success.
Absolutely. We actually say there's two reasons when you should stop having a mentor or a coach. One is that it's not working. If it's not working, change your mentor or coach. And the other reason is you really do want to stop growing. If you want to stop growing, then you don't need that outside advice. But if you want to keep growing, somebody's got to be giving you directions because, if you want to be a great athlete, you've got to have somebody helping with the swing, with the run, whatever it is you need to do. It's hard to see it if you're inside.
Yep, SEO411.com. Beth Guy, thanks so much for being with us, and then you've brought with us, a guy that I've met several times, Doug Winnie, and Doug is with businessasatool.com. He's an action coach, which is a great business model. I'm very familiar with Action. It used to be called Action International, I believe, and very good business model. Businessasatool.com. Very interesting conversation. I tell you, I'm a big fan of coaching. I've talked about it often on my program and encourage people to check that out for themselves because even Tiger Woods has a coach. That's what I tell people, and so, what's his name? For LA Lakers, the basketball player.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. He has a coach. Every time he goes to the playoffs, he automatically hires a coach to take him through the playoffs, to guide him through the playoffs. And so, the most successful people out, and guess what? You might think there's no one better than you. Guess what? There's probably no one better than Kobe Bryant. There's no one better than Tiger Woods, but they still have coaches because they need that third-party objectivity. So I don't care how good you are, you can use that additional help. So check them both out. Again, for your SEO, SEO411.com, and for your coaching, you might want to visit my friend Doug over at businessasatool.com. Thanks to both of you. Great segment.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for being here.
When we come back, we're going to have more for you. I do want to remind you to check us out 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Great audio, video, articles, and more. You're listening to The Price of Business.